Hello, and welcome to this short film as part of Let's Get Steady. I'm Abigail, and I work as part of an occupational therapy team, and along with my colleague Shu, a podiatrist, we'll discuss what we call the balance triangle. Balance is a key part of staying steady. It's the ability to maintain the body's centre of mass over its base of support, which is our feet. Balance enables us to stay upright and to be mobile. To stay balanced, our brain processes the information we receive from the three main senses: sight, hearing, and touch. Through this fantastic and sophisticated system, our brain keeps us safe and upright, alerts us to when we're unsteady, and corrects our body position to try and prevent a fall. If any of these senses are compromised, it will impact on our balance and therefore our ability to mobilise to our full potential. Damage can be caused to all three senses from disease, the ageing process, or if we simply take these senses for granted and neglect them. This will impact our ability to stay active. Symptoms associated with balance problems could be poor vision, conditions which affect your eyesight, such as glaucoma or macular degeneration, and dizziness, hearing loss, vertigo, build-up of earwax or infection, arthritis, overgrown toenails, distal neuropathy, fluid retention, and bunions or calluses. Let's look at each sense in the balance triangle and understand how they work together to keep us safe and how we ensure they work to their optimum level. Vision. Firstly, let's look at our vision. We have nerves in the back of our eyes that send messages to the brain to give visual interpretation of our environment. Many patients attending A&E for falls or hip fractures have had a correctable visual impairment, but typically they've not had their eyes examined for several years. People wearing glasses with an outdated or wrong prescription are much more at risk of taking a tumble. Wearing bifocal or multifocal lenses can increase the risk of falling too. Just a small reduction in depth perception can lead to tripping over obstacles or overstepping on the stairs. Ask yourself these questions. Do you have problems reading small print? This is our reading vision. Can you recognise faces across the street? This is our long sight. Do you have difficulty judging steps or curbs? This is our depth perception. To maintain good vision, have your eyes checked every year. Keep your glasses clean and make sure you wear the right glasses for the right tasks. Our hearing is also an important part of the balance triangle. The inner ear transports information to our brain in relation to the surrounding environment. Again, this is a very complex and busy part of the body we may take for granted. It's responsible for not just our hearing but also our spatial awareness. There are hair cells located deep in the ear. In fact, there are around 15,000 hair cells, but unlike skin or other cell types, they do not replenish. These very fine hairs detect different movements, such as turning your head left to right, up and down, and backwards and forwards. Sound also causes the vibration of these hairs to bend, opening pores that activate electrical signals that travel to the brain. The better the signal to our brain, the better it can respond so that we can have awareness of our body in relation to the space around us. Hearing loss for most people is very gradual. Around 4 million people in the UK need a hearing aid, but they don't know it. Those that are losing their hearing typically wait around 10 years before seeking help. If you do need to wear a hearing aid, it can take around 4 to 6 weeks to adjust. This is because the brain is suddenly bombarded with sound that it may not have heard for many years, and it must relearn what to pay attention to, such as speech, and likewise, what to ignore, such as environmental sounds. With patience and perseverance, hearing aids can be life-changing. Possible causes of hearing loss or your balance being affected could be a build-up of earwax or an ear infection, which are both easily treatable. What can you do? Have your ears checked if you or your family think you have a hearing problem. Or, if you already wear hearing aids, check for a build-up of wax in the tubing and get regular reviews.
Another important area we need to think about within the balance triangle and how it relates to the falls is proprioception. A good example of this is that if you were standing on some grass with your eyes closed, the brain would identify from sensory feedback that you were indeed standing on grass. However, if you step on a slippery, icy surface, immediately your body would respond and you'd reach out for support. A person with a visual impairment may have heightened senses. For example, being aware of the dimpled paving on a pedestrian crossing, indicating that the person is at the edge of the road. The consequences of this important information not being transmitted from our feet to our brain could really affect balance and compromise mobility. So it is really important to look after our feet. Think about your current footwear and consider the following. Ill-fitting footwear that doesn't accommodate painful feet due to bunions, corns, or calluses will affect the way we walk and could cause us to fall. It is important to wear good and functional footwear that is cushioned, protects your feet, and supports your ankles. Make sure that you are wearing the correct shoe size. Feet can change size during the aging process, so get your feet measured if you aren't sure. Choose soft, leather shoes free from bulky seams with a rounded toe, ensuring they are the correct width, length, and depth. Wear a shoe that has a fastening to hold your foot steady, such as laces, straps, or Velcro. Make sure there is room for toes to move. If you wear slippers at home, make sure they have a non-slip sole. Also, ensure they have a bag so that your feet stay securely inside them. Check your footwear regularly for wear and tear. Inspect your feet daily. You can place a mirror on the floor to make this easier. Check the grip of your shoe is clean. If it's not, this can reduce the properties of grip and cause a slip. File your toenails on a weekly basis, and if there are any corns or calluses, do them as well. Apply emollient on both feet daily, but avoid the emollient going in between your toes. If you wear insoles, make sure they are comfortable. And if you are using walking aids, such as crutches or a walking stick, make sure that they're at the correct height. And remember, see your GP if you have painful, swollen, or tingling feet that is hampering your mobility.
Thank you for watching, and please remember to have regular eye checks and use the correct glasses. Don't avoid a hearing test, and ensure your footwear is appropriate and you look after your feet.